All right. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome back to the CLC Paint YouTube channel. I am Chase Corrington, and we're just going to do a happy little painting today. Hope you've gone out and bought yourself an easel. You can find many of them online. Maybe I can even leave Amazon links in the future at the bottom of my videos if you want to search in the description box. Maybe we'll have some Amazon links there. So what I've done up here already is I've gotten liquid white evenly distributed all over the canvas. And I got a big 2-inch brush here, and we got phthalo blue. So I'm just going to pull out a little bit, tap the brush to evenly distribute it. And I'm going to start up here in the corners and just doing crisscross strokes like this. One down that way, one down that way, just back and forth. Now you want to start up here at the top to keep the top the darkest. And as you can see, the blue will continually mix with the liquid white. And I think I want to leave a little white area in there. Sometimes if you want a little darker color, you can swirl it like that. And that'll be maybe the undertone of one of our clouds here. And just come back, keep blending with the liquid white. And the further you come down, the lighter this will get. So down here, it's almost white now. I think we'll just finish out our sky here. I'm just going to try to do a quick, happy little simple painting here today. So that way, if somebody's a beginner and they want to try painting a landscape painting of their own, they can give this one a go. So that's just a simple sky there. So we'll just have the slightest touch of phthalo green in our water down here. So to do water, we start from the edge and go straight in. Straight in. And try not to let these lines go down. I guess it's not dark enough. Maybe I can add some blue. We'll make it dark so you can see what I'm talking about there. All right, so straight in. Just like that. And let it disappear up there towards the horizon. Wherever your horizon is. So we'll come from the other side and pull straight in. Let's try to get onto our clouds here next. Finish this water just straight across. Not a big deal. Because we're going to cover most of this water up later. And I kind of try to leave a little light area in between. You don't have to. You can make it over here, you can make it over there, wherever. But I like to leave a little light area so it looks like a sheen of light. Just nice little light areas. Yeah, here they are. Good old fan brushes. Here, let's get that guy out. Look, there's a 1-inch brush in here too. Dun, dun, dun. Never know when you need some paper towels. Paper towels come in handy big time for this. And see how easy, how quickly you can just put a beautiful sky, beautiful ocean. If you didn't want to, you could. If you didn't want to go any further, you could literally paint this, put this on your wall and say, look everybody, I painted a beautiful sky and the ocean. So I'm going to come on the top of this little dark cloud here, and I'm going to make it white. Never stop. Oh, now, we want a little bit more fluffiness up here, so let's just, you can tap it in like that, and then when we blend those later, they'll get nice and fluffy. I like to use a lot of white in this process. Big old fluffer. There we go. And sometimes, if you want some little floaty, stringy cloud guys, you can do a little circle and then just do some taps like that. Just kind of tap it across. Do Maybe we'll do another guy right here. He comes across like that. Nice. You can press it on there if you want. You can press up. You can press down. You can spin circles with the corner of the brush. There's really unlimited ways. Clouds are so free. If you look at clouds after you try painting them, it really changes the way that you see the entirety of nature. And it's such a fantastic change in perspective. I find sometimes the most important changes in life is when we change our perspective and we start to see things in a new light, in a new way. All we want to do is soft, not hard, soft little circles down here at the bottom of our cloud shapes. So it's blending the bottom of them and softening at the same time. We'll do this guy, make him nice and soft, and we'll do this guy, make him nice and soft. We're gonna fluff this cloud. So just one hair and some air. Don't give it a straight up pull, because that'll look like the clouds are going. We want them to be fluffing. So kind of like a sideways turn. But if you push too hard, you'll literally paint your cloud away. So just soft enough to where it rubs it, but so soft to where it doesn't destroy any of the shape. It just kind of lifts up these floaty little streaks. Sometimes less is better on this part, because you can really just, the more you blend, the more your clouds just disappear. One hair and some air. Don't push hard on this part. Just soft. Just soft. There we go. We'll do this little cloud over here. Just give him a quick fluff, quick pull. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, I pulled a little hard there. See? Made a little streak there in the sky, but it kind of looks like an extra cloud. So I'm just going to tap it, blend it, fluff it, pull it, and we're good to go. In this world, we can choose to make everything peaceful, happy, just flowing right along. So you know what I think? I think next would be a lot of fun. We have a big old mountain back there. So we're going to get a little roll of paint on the edge of the knife, just the edge. We're going to come up here and decide, maybe we got a mountain that kind of lives off the edge, or maybe he just goes like right. See, this is the part, you got to be brave. You got to be willing to make a mess on your canvas here. We're deciding the top edge, so don't worry about this mess in here. That's fine. That'll be the bottom of our mountain, maybe. Right now, we're just trying to focus on the top edge up here. We'll make him like that. I have a habit of making all my mountains too pyramid shaped, so I'm going to try to flatten out and round out this side of the peak. Then you pull off, you can hear me scraping it, pull off the excess, the extra paint that you don't really want on there. I'm going to try to spread it out, crimson color, and maybe we'll do this peak over here. Oh yeah, yeah, see that? Totally different color. And it's like a little rolling peak. I love to vary the colors because it makes people think. And when you get the mind going, that's where the beauty comes out. People think all kinds of things, and then your painting comes to life. So what I did was I mixed that crimson in with the blue over here. Maybe we'll get another tiny little roll to fix that peak. Perfect. And just scrape off the extra. As you can see, I'm only paying attention to the top edge. And whenever you mess it up like that, you can just come in and touch it up. Maybe this peak is kind of flat at the top there. It's like an old volcano. There we go. Use our 1" here that we did for our blending in the sky, and I wiped it off on a paper towel so it's not all covered with blue. You come right in, you push, bend the bristles, and pull it out. And because of the liquid white on the canvas, this just smears off into the distance. Man, the beauty is unbelievable. And at this step, you choose which direction. So this peak is going that direction. Now, if I pull this straight down, we're going to have some weird looking peaks, as you can see. Actually, that one looks cool. Maybe we'll keep it. I'm going to adjust the angle. See, so the angles are the most important part here. And for planning ahead, we may have a big old tree that pushes all this back into the background. So I usually leave the edges of the painting kind of open to put big trees in. That's a good idea to keep in mind. So I'm going to pull this side of the mountain down this way, because that seems fun, right? And just continuously blending back and forth, pulling your mountain out. You could call this step pulling it out. Pull the mountain out, soften at the bottom. Try to keep your angles. And this is really where you can tell if you put enough liquid white. If you didn't put enough, it won't blend very well here. And you'll be in agony city. So we're just going to softly blend, pulling this mountain all the way down in front of that one, pushes it back in the distance. See the dark color right there. How that works. And we'll pull this peak out this way. Maybe that one goes that way. Love these mountains. Mountains might be the funnest part of painting, just because they're so amazing and so easy. Soften it down here. Try to get the color on your brush to blend with the liquid white, creating a soft, misty effect down at the bottom. Remembering your angles. Don't forget the angles. Most important. So, let's come back in here and we'll just ever so slightly give our mountain some snow. I like to play with it because you can really have fun. Oh yeah, see how the paint's drier there? And so it really rolled off the knife and created all these little holes. If your paint's really wet, it'll smear and cover everything rather than making all these little textures and holes. Man, that's where it happens. That's where it happens, is in all those little textures and holes. I'm sure you could see right as I did it how beautiful it came out. It's just stunning. So I'm going to imagine there's going to be shadow colors on the opposite side of this, and then we're going to have another peak maybe right up there. Yeah, right up there. Comes down through here, connects with that area, and then there's more snow down here. There we go. And we'll put a little shadow. This is sometimes better done with the small knife because you end up getting a little out of hand with this big knife. But so we're going to tap some little shadows in these down there. Yeah, see the blue now playing in how it creates depth and shadows and all kinds of little things. We're going to use this corner, the small part of the knife there, pull through our shadow color, and let's just scrape some on there. So every highlight needs its own individual shadow because that makes sense, right? And just scrape it on there. Don't be worried about this, really. Just go fast. So we're just going to grab a tiny little bit of white on the corner, the tiny corner. And we'll just touch. So your hand's a little too shaky unless you're like a perfect balanced person. But I'm throwing a layer of a peak there with just shaky touches, just careful as you can. It was pretty rocky in there, and that's what gives it the natural look. So don't beat yourself up about this. Everything is perfect. That's the secret of this method, is nothing is a mistake. You kind of learn how to fix your mistakes, but beautiful painting. So every highlight needs its own little shadow. Sparkle. And make those sound effects. They really help you. When you go boom. This will help you practice. When I was a kid, I'd run around the house making sound effects just because that was the way I played. I don't know if I had a huge imagination or something. Now, let's do a big snowy peak. Just let that one run all the way down. You know, sometimes people say, "Oh, I'm just so shaky. I can never get a still hand." And I would almost say you've got an advantage on the rest of us here, because if you're shaky, you end up having some really natural. Oh, all these things, all these beautiful. All right, then we'll have a little snowy guy down, I think back there. And you can see the white kind of blends with the mountain color, and that gives you nice little shadows as well. So work with that. Let the canvas and the liquid white on the canvas, the wet paint, do the work for you. Just scrape some blue in there. Pull a little bit of the white over sometimes. Boom. Now I think this part is not. I've been doing this for multiple years now. I think maybe almost 4 years in painting these paintings. And it really, you continually, the more you learn, the more there is to learn. But it just gets more and more beautiful as you let go of your fear. That's the secret. We have to let go of our fear. We're so afraid sometimes to just let it flow out of us. Maybe this mountain's got a peak. I like these peaks that come out like this. Ding. And maybe it comes across like that. Just be real free here. Oh, we got some blue in that one. That's all right. Don't even worry about it. Just let it happen. And we'll create ourselves a shadow. There we go. Now, when you come down here at the bottom of your mountain, you're just going to tap. You want to tap using the same angle. Just want to tap. Don't go too high. If you tap up here, you'll destroy your piece. What we're trying to do is create a misty appearance of the white at the bottom, or the shadows, either way. And when you get into your shadows, you almost want to tap the opposite direction. So later on, it gives you the feel that it's going that way. Now, lift ever so slightly. Nice and quiet on this part. Just quietly. Sometimes you can flip your brush over. That'll also help. And we'll wipe this the other direction, kind of softening it. Don't go overboard on this. I'm almost going overboard already. And it makes it look like there's air just flying up there. So maybe we can use our other little palette that's back here. So we're going to blend some, it looks super dark. I wish I could get some better lighting in here. In the future, we'll have a studio. That's my dream, working on manifesting a studio, but you know, takes time. Got to let go of the outcome. Mixed with phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, and midnight black. We're going to pull all of that together. All right, now I want to make some background trees back there somewhere. So I'm going to take the brush horizontally and we're going to push. Do little pushes like that. And I'm going to come all the way across to about right there. And then maybe I'll make this side a little bit thicker. A little bit thicker. And this side gets thinner as it goes maybe way off into the distance back there or something. I'm going to ever so smallly lift straight up. Maybe I can edit that out. Or not, either way. Or maybe we'll leave that on the Patreon exclusive full version of this painting. And then we'll keep the edited smaller version on YouTube. The exact same thing for reflections. So let's do just a straight down. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I go sideways. We end up getting sideways trees. But we're just going to pull this straight down real quick and make some beautiful reflections. Perfect. And just softly, don't put any pressure on this, just as soft as possible. Come right across the reflections and it gives it the look of water. And then slowly push the knife against the canvas like this. And then cut. Just cut across where your water line would be. Boom. And then so you can come back, wipe your knife so the color underneath is off of your knife. Grab a little bit more white, same tiny little bit there. And come back in wherever you want it. And just don't worry about cutting the canvas. And then you can just cut as much as you want. See, it makes it look like the water's just playing against the land there. Just trying to explain a very simple landscape. Ooh, where do we want our middle ground? I'd say we're gonna have our foreground over here. So we'll have our middle ground right here. I'll show you the simple design here. I've done tons of this composition. Give yourself a line, or you can draw it like that for wherever your tree is gonna be, except that makes you have a thicker trunk. So corner of the brush, just tap at the top and work yourself back and forth. Zigzag formation, right to left, left to right, just tapping, slowly adding more and more pressure as you go down. So then I'll flip the brush over to where there's more paint on the other side. Continue back, same exact motion. And if you run out of paint doing this, see, I started getting into little dots here instead of full pushes. I'm going to reload just real quick, wiggle it, pull it, and let's come back here. Come down and block off your land there so it looks like it's way behind this tree, right? When you go over top of the water line, a lot of times you'll need to grab a little bit darker because the white will mix with your brush and just cover that up. We can say there's a little bit, maybe we can push up now, see that? Push up, and it makes little grassy things. Maybe we got a little land coming out right here. And then the rest of this comes towards us, kind of coming around the angle there. That there's a reflection of the tree in the water, because this is a big oak tree. Now try to do what you did here. See, we're pushing down. So this time I'm going to do it the opposite way. Try to anyways. So it's like I'm making a tree go in this direction. Don't worry about getting it just right because we're going to smear this downwards anyways. Let's see, it just gives us the imitation an imitation of a tree. Down here in the water, and we'll give an imitation of some grassy things right there, right? I'm just going to pull straight down on this. Make some little sound effects if you want. More straight on look at it. I like that a lot. Because you're going to come in here, you're going to tap just here and there. Not the whole thing, because the highlights are going to cover up those little bits. Sometimes I like to run a pokey thing right out the top there like that. Bit of the white. I'm going to play it through the brown. Tap it right on there. This ain't going to show up too much, but just enough to make a difference in real life. When somebody looks at your painting, they'll say, wow, little trunk's back in there. Maybe there's a line right there and one there. Who knows? Sometimes you make these extra lines and it looks like there's a few trees in there. We're just going to do some happy little highlights here. So that way we can kind of separate. Yeah, just let it mix like that. So pretty. When it mixes and then come back. Oh yeah, there we go. And this highlighting process, this part might be the part that takes the most practice. I'm still not very amazing at this part. Darker at the bottom. You don't want it as bright as the top, because the top gets more light than the bottom does down here. But let me give you a more direct look at that. And we're just going to highlight our little grassy things down here. And do layers. Don't make the whole thing one color. And then maybe there's another little layer. And then leave a dark spot in between these layers. So it looks like depth and distance. Depth and distance, right? There's a layer, there's one, there's one. See that? Now it looks like this grass is further back than that one, and so on and so forth. Now, we're going to do our highlights in the reflections. Once again, just try to do similar, except a quick illusion of what you had going on. So don't get carried away with this, because this is going to be smeared out anyways. So don't get worked up and upset about not being able to do this the right way, because it's just supposed to be a lot of fun. And put your grasses right there, right? Yeah. We can have our little layers of grasses underneath there. Yeah. We'll just add some extra green on there. I gotta keep turning this so it's the right angle for me to work it. Just so lightly. And make little sound effects if you have to come across. And there we go. Just like that, you can have some of the most beautiful reflections. So grab some brown on the knife and pull out some little land areas here that are going to separate our grass from our water line, right? We need to have a separate, just go quick. I like little highlights. Oh yeah. There we go. That kind of brings it together there. Just happy little accents. Maybe there's some bright highlights back there. Nice little sparklers. Nice little sparklers. Maybe we need some more of that. So pretty. Yeah, there we go. So pretty. All right. That's some good looking Good looking little dirt there. Take ourselves that little bit of white from our liquid white. And once again, just keep in mind one spot is further back than the other spot. So the lines are kind of going to work downward as you go across. So it gets closer to you. If you have this part be the furthest down and it comes back up that way, then you'll have what's going on back here. It looks like it goes back into the distance further that way. And continually practice this. This is something that me being 3-4 years into this, I could there's still so much to learn. And that's the beautiful thing about life, is as long as we remain the student and the teacher at the same time, I think then we can achieve mastery. And just to show you that you can come out here in your water and put a little ripple if you want here and there. Just try to keep them straight, keep them flat. There we go. Make it brighter. Yeah, let's make some bright ones. There we go. Without messing anything up. See that peak there? It didn't ever get a shadow. I don't want to leave him out. I'm going to try to be very careful with my hand here. I'm going to rest my hand down here and then rest my wrist on that. And then come up here and just give this little guy a shadow. See that? How it kind of adds depth and dimension way up there, just a little tiny thing. Find out perfection creates procrastination. So the more you try to perfect stuff, the more time you spend not doing. It's better to do, and that's where the perfection comes from. The more doing, the better you get. Maybe he's not as tall. Gotta be brave. Gotta block off your mountain back there. Be brave. I like to hum and stuff. You really just got to enjoy this while you do it. It's something else. It'll make noises. No, I'm kidding. And then we'll just tap. How about get out of the camera there with the corner of my beard. And we're just gonna work our way. So once you get off the top here, you're using the whole brush to tap. And leave these little open areas so you can see through back to the world back there. Whatever is in the world. I'm not saying skip sections, but kind of do this back and forth. Perfect there. Covered up the white in the background. And see, as you get further down, your tree should get darker, darker, bigger and bigger. Before long, your tree's, almost as wide as your hand down there. This is beautiful. I'm going to come back and just all the way up, filling in a little bit. It's a beautiful tree. I like trees that have friends. Shoot, we all need a friend, right? At least one. I don't have many friends, but the one or two that I do have there. This tree here, see, he's smaller at the top, just a little guy. It's important to think about those things. Like if I was going to do a painting on a canvas that's only this big, when I do these big old trees, they're going to be little guys. And because the canvas is smaller, if you do a smaller canvas painting, then this is a 16 by 20. When you do these little trees, they actually look like big trees because the canvas is smaller. Right? So I'm planning on having land that comes down in here, so we can literally just do this. Like our land comes all the way across or down there or something. This is practice. This is learning. We're learning how to do this. Don't have to be perfect by any means. And maybe we got some big old bushes that are just right there. Just push. Just create all kinds of bushes. And remember you can do straight up, then curve the brush a little, go out that angle. The important thing to do here is not smear. Because see what happens when you smear? It ruins your shapes. You want to push. Get those nice little shapes in there. And you can see how quickly I ran out of paint there. Nice. So see how that creates a new layer? Like the bush goes down and then it gets darker. There, new layer. New layer. And then maybe this bush comes over and blocks off the feet of this tree. Just let it go. Just let it happen. We're going to come back in and make another layer down here where it's bright. Boom. Boom. Mic drop. I'm kidding. Then you can turn the brush sideways and begin to push up, or you can push down, tap down, create all these little grassy things. Maybe even just, we'll do some pushes like this, just to fill that in, right? Maybe the grass goes off the corner down there. A little bigger there, so that makes sense. Sweet. So instead of pushing up, we'll take our brush, turn it sideways. We're going to do some little tree things that are hanging out up here. I think that really gives good composition to your painting sometimes if you just have some tree things out up here. Now you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Don't have to do that if you don't want to. Kind of takes a bit of bravery, really. Takes a bit of bravery. I just like to add all kinds of things to make you think, you know, later on at the end. And maybe it's honestly just coming all the way down here. Right. Who knows? Now, highlights. Highlights. Hello. You. You. Sorry. I like to meditate. I've been learning about the sounds, the power of sounds and frequencies and all those things. It's very interesting. Now, it's important to remember if you're doing your highlights and it's not working, your brush is grabbing everything that's on the canvas, then that means your paint's not wet enough. Or that also means the paint on the canvas is too wet. So you want to make sure these dark colors that you put in are nice and thick, not super wet. And we make 0 mistakes. Let's see. I don't understand how we're so dang good at this. I mean, we never make a single mistake. It's unbelievable how good we are. And this is our first time painting. Not me, but maybe for you. And you haven't made a single mistake yet, right? So just to make this work right, but I'm just gonna boom, boom. Nice, nice. Yeah. Now leave little dark areas in there. It creates layers. Like maybe there's another little. Go back through. Don't drop your brush, especially at this step. I'm glad I was able to catch it. Painted down the side of my tablecloth here. Don't drop your brush. Now, there we go. There we go. Get these beautiful little bushy guys in there. Pulled that Indian yellow straight into the brush. Oh yeah, look at that Indian yellow. It's a bit more of an orange color. And see, you just kind of just shape them. Like there's a bush there. So you want to kind of separate them. Like maybe there's one down here. And he's kind of lives down underneath of that guy. Because I want to keep it simple for you. Just trying to keep it simple, right? Maybe there's another bush back in there. Who knows? And there's one right here. I'm just going to do some little grassy. And from right over here, just tapping. just tap these little grassy things in there, just like that. Now this will look different once I get it out into better lighting situations. And maybe we got another layer coming down there. Another little layer. Just tap up in the bushies there. The bushies. Nice little bushy guys. A lot of paint. Grab a big pile of paint, pulling it through this way. I'm gonna make a big old bush right down here. And maybe that'll kind of separate things a little bit. Careful. Some brightness over there in the corner. Kind of like maybe something's happening, nobody knows. All right, I'm just gonna press up on the tips of my grassy guys here where it meets the water. Nice. Tap in there. Don't destroy the dark areas, but kind of. This is just an easy way, ladies and gentlemen, to do this. I'm going to try to finish up real quick here so that way we can look forward to doing another painting in the future. Create a little trunk, the middle of our tree, right? Because we did the back. These trees, we did the back and then the front. We didn't really give them any trunks because you can come to the dark areas. See that? And you can scrape in little sticks back. Put a little trunk in our friend here. Maybe make a couple of lines here and there. Looks like there might be maybe more trees, who knows. Mix it with the trunk. Give it a little pull sometimes. Give it that rounded appearance. Okay, we'll just give this guy a little color because he's a new tree all of a sudden. This stuff, it's beautiful there. All right. You can see how it all comes together. It's just fascinating. I'm gonna come up here and just have some beautiful highlights up here. Just softly. Don't want to overdo this. And just see how you can just instantly create the most beautiful effects. It's just amazing. I've been doing this for three plus years, and it just never ceases to amaze me how amazing this comes out. I really hope you've enjoyed this. Hope this gives you the confidence to try a simple, beautiful painting like this. Remember, the left side is our brighter side. Right? Come back to some more white, some more yellow, mostly yellow, not much white. I'll show you what we can do with the white here in just a second. Darker. It's pretty dark at the bottom because it goes into shadow back there behind these other bushes and stuff. And now this guy, just give him some little highlights. Darker. That's a beautiful painting there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a beautiful painting. I think I want to add a little bit of grassy things going on down here, so it kind of flows off the corner there. Looks more reasonable. Beautiful. Let's push all the way up and get that white. Get some nice, bright little grassy guys going on there. Nice. Did you see that at a better angle there? I'll be posting pictures on Facebook, Instagram, and you'll be able to see the true lighting of this compared to this cheap little webcam that we're using now. Mark in some little sticks and twigs here and there. This helps create depth and distance in your painting. You know what? I've got an idea. I think just to add a final little bit onto this, add a final step onto this painting. think I'll do a little stick tree with the knife. Show you how to do so. Take our dark color. You don't want it smeared all over the knife because then you'll have too big of a tree. Oh, see that? Yeah, I think we'll come out maybe like right here. Make ourselves just a nice little tree there. Dead tree. See that? It's amazing how the shine from this angle, the sun is shining and it makes that white. But really, it's actually dark in there. Make it a little thicker. Yeah, there we go. Get a little arm sticking out there, extra arm maybe, which is a white mixed with brown. Yeah, we'll just touch. Sorry, I'm in the camera there. Just give that a slight bit of highlight. Messy little guy there, but honestly, I think people will like it more than you do. That's the thing to remember about all of this. People will like it more than you do. But I want to take my script liner brush just to give this guy a little arm there. Maybe another little arm there. One there. There we go. Perfect. I knew I needed to do a little script liner action. Makes these little arms so beautiful. There we go. You can pull it out like this. Sticks, twigs, whatever's in the background of your painting here. And we'll just touch up the foots of that, little bushy guys. And I'd say we've got ourselves a finished painting. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned. I hope this was helpful. And until next time, I am Chase Corrington. This is the CLC Paint YouTube channel, where we're going to teach you how to paint the most beautiful, simple masterpieces and bring it right out of your mind from inspiration into reality on the canvas. Until next time, thank you so much.